We're gonna start here today with the load up of this camper. I'm gonna show you all about how to load it, show you your 7-way, how to strap it down, all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna jump in the truck here. We're gonna back this thing underneath the camper. I'm gonna have my guider, Kent, go to the back and watch this thing back in. We'll get this thing on and then I'll show you the jacks, how that's gonna go, but we'll get to this right now. All right, backing the truck up, picking a spot on the camper to watch. I want to make sure my tires don't hit the blocks. My truck's lifted 6 inches, so that's why I have blocks underneath the jacks, but looks like it's pretty good. We're about to touch here. One thing you're going to notice right there is that in the bottom of the bed you have a spacer, so I have a rubber mat there with a piece of 2x4 just to create a little space between the actual camper and the truck, just to make sure they don't touch or anything. Some trucks don't need that, but I like to have it there. So I'm going to back this thing up tight. Looks like I'm touching. And so now we're going to go and have a look at the rest of the job and make sure it's dead straight. Just backed under the camper here. It was one shot, so that's pretty good for me. It takes me a couple times, but I can see, looking from the back of the truck here, the space on this side's a little bit bigger, so the camper needs to come a little bit to the left, but that's okay. So it wasn't a dead straight back in, but what I do when that happens is I take the jacks from that need to move to that side down first, and that'll help shift the camper here. So I'm dropping this side of the camper first. Take the back down a bit. So I can see here now. Take this down a hair more on this side. All right, so we have another look now. I can see it shifted a little bit for sure. Maybe even a hair too much, but that's okay. I'll bring this side down a bit. Perfect spots right near the front of the cab, which is perfect. You want to be as close as you can there. Not taking any weight off. So now let's have a peek here. Shift it a little bit again. So back to the front corner. Have a look at that block. Looks good. So you kind of want to do this at about 6 inches at a time. You don't want to go crazy. Just lower it down slowly. You can see it's a little bit tipped already, but that's okay. Now we're getting pretty close. So I'm actually just looking here. I think I'm going to do one little touch here and then probably actually touch it down. So this will bring it back a hair. So about an inch there, about an inch there. I say that's pretty darn straight. So this side I'm going to touch down. Looks like that corner's in. This corner's in. So now the camper's weight is on the truck. One thing I do notice, and you'll see here that the camper or the truck itself starts to squat a bit from the weight, and that's just a natural part of putting a camper on a truck, but I have no air in my airbags yet. So the airbags I go with are the Airlift 5000s, and so they have a block inside them, so that I run them at about 5-10 psi, but you can see the airbags right here, and so those have about 10 pounds of air in them right now, and as we go along here, I'm going to get on my little air machine there and fill them up, but this camper is down on the truck. all the camper's weight. And it looks really straight, which is really nice. So I'm gonna buzz up these jacks quick. Now that the weight's off the jacks, just straight up. This other one here. So before I do the other ones to get my compressor out to blow up these airbags, to fill up the bags, I'm going to show you something really cool on these jacks. So these jacks are removable, and the reason why Scout does that is to get their base weight of the campers down. So these are an option on the campers, but they're simply just a pin on. So you pull out the pin, and then now you pop these things up, pull out the extension, bring this guy in here, and now it's nice and tidy for travel. Generally, I would leave these at home, but because I'm picking this camper up at the factory right now, I need these to take home to my house, and then we'll store them in my garage for the season. But super easy to use. Just pop the pins again, and the extension out, slide them in, put your pins back in. And I won't show you all four right now, but we'll get going again here once we start showing the straps. Let's take them. All right, so I took in the other two jacks on their side. You can see nice and tidy to the truck here. It might be a little bit loud for a second because I have the air compressor running that I pulled out of the back of my truck, portable. Bring this with me and my little PSI gauge. So I'm gonna do the airbags before we go do the ratchets and the straps and tie the camper down. I'm gonna probably put about 40 PSI in these airbags. Takes very little time to do this. My airbag fills right at my license plate. That's where I had it installed. You can install your gas tank or other place on the truck, or get a fancy one that's electric. It does it for you. This is a little bit less expensive to do it this way, obviously, but I'm gonna put some air in these bags and lift the back of this truck up a bit. So the truck is slowly lifting. I can see it. Don't put too much in yet. I saw it lifting. I'll lift this side up and then I'll check them again. I can see the truck lifting, so let's check the PSI. A little bit tricky like this. Just under 40 in both. I'm gonna go for about 3 more seconds. 1, 2, 3, long 3. One, 2, 3, do 4 on this side. Oh. Make sure I got this on PSI here. 44.6, 45. That should be pretty good. Let's have a look at the truck, make sure it's level, and should be okay. Ken says it's okay, so I'm going to wrap this up, put my covers back on, and then we'll get to the tying it down. So I'm at the back of the truck. I just put the caps back on the airbags. Truck is sitting dead level, just over 40 PSI per bag, about 45. Sits nice. So the last part of this, well, there's actually a couple parts here, is the ratchets and the straps. So these ratchets and straps come standard with the Scouts. It's basically a hook here that you unlock here, and then you're going to hook it into the bed anchor. So I got the standard F-150 anchor points on here, and then from there you're just going to ratchet it tight as you can get it. So when the camper is brand new, your first couple trips, it's going to break in a little bit, so you just want to check them every few hours. But after they kind of break in, they're not going anywhere. So I mean, the first couple trips, just double check them every once in a while. Hook this one in here, ratchet it. Really easy to do. Suppose 30 seconds for one. Not quite tight enough yet. Nice and tight. So while I was putting away the air compressor, I did the front ones already, so we don't have to watch that. But now that the camper's on the truck, it's sitting on a 1/2 inch rubber mat, which is what you need. You have airbags on the truck to help it ride flat. So without airbags, it's going to squat. You saw it squat when I put it on. Now it's riding dead flat. And I have some E-range tires on this. So that's the 3 things I always recommend for any camper buyer, is that you put D-range tires are better. Recommend E-range if you can. And then the 1/2 inch rubber mat has to be 1/2 inch or thicker for under a Scout. And then also, so good tires, 1/2 inch rubber mat, and the airbags. So the last step is connecting the power. So in the larger models, the Olympic and the Kenai, we have the LED light bar on the front of the camper. So the LED light bar only has 1 wire, 2 wires running through a wiring gland, so it's watertight. So there's only 1 hole in your roof for potential, any water penetration, thing like that. That's why it's a big upgrade to have that single hole. So that's why the LED light bar. But to get that running, you need power from the truck to the camper. So a 7-way cable like this, double-ended female trailer plug. You can see right here. So you're going to plug in. So on my truck, the plug is right by my license plate again, right here. So you can see the little nubby here. Plug it in there. Make sure that's in there snug. And then I'm going to figure out where to run this later. But on the camper, it's on the driver's side. So we have 2 ports here. One's an SAE port for the solar. So this camper actually came with a 200-watt Nomad solar panel. You can purchase those. It was a promo they had, but portable solar panel can go here. Comes a 30-foot cable. I can put that out in the sun. It's a hot day here in Yakima, Washington. You can see I'm sweating. So if you want to get more solar, this is the way to do it. But there's the plug for that. And I can't see anything because of my sunglasses. But this is the wrong way, so it wants to go this way. So that's in there tight. All right, so now our 7-way plug is connected. I am going to figure out how I want to run this 7-way to clean it up. So with the Olympic, I have a 6.5 foot bed, so you can see here I still got a couple inches behind the camper. This tailgate's going to close with space behind it still, so that's going to be really sweet. I'm going to have to figure out something to do with the 7-way cable, but I'm going to do that for a second, and then we'll jump back on, move this thing out of here, and then we'll take you around the sweet camper in just a couple minutes here. All right, so you can see the 7-way sitting there. I took my tailgate down and put the step out so we can go in the camper after, but we'll plug that back in before we go. Tested it, lights work good, so that's really awesome. Pumped about that. But on this side of the camper here, I'm just going to show you something really cool. On this Olympic, we're going to go inside and check out the heater that I have installed. If you notice the back wall, there was no diesel heater on the back, so we'll go inside the camper. But you can see here I have a 10-pound tank, and I added a second 5-pound tank. So a little bit extra propane. This is on an Olympic, so if it's a Kenai, you can easily fit 2 10s, and it comes with the hardware. I took out the hardware, put these nice straps in, just makes it nice and easy to use. But again, 2 tanks on here, 5 and a 10 on the Olympic. You can do 2 10s on the Olympic, but it's like a puzzle to get them in and out, so I just went 10 and 5, so it's nice and easy to use. You can see here, nice big storage cubby, nice latches on the Olympic, so it doesn't interfere with your awning, so you have lots of space here to grab your chairs, your table, all that. So that's a really nice storage cubby on the passenger side of the Olympic. Looking forward to using that. Again, these nice latches with the lock and this awning, which I've shown you guys a couple times now, but it just pulls out here, unlock it, lock it out. I might actually just leave this thing out for a bit because it's toasty. So you can tension this. It's a little bit saggy there, so you can tension the actual fabric and bring it up tight. So it's hot, so leave that out. Might go hide there in between shots here. And yeah, you can see the back wall of this camper is flat, so this thing has no diesel heater on the back. So we'll go inside in a second and show you that. But I'm going to show you the first upgrade I do to my Scout. So I buy this part from Home Depot. It's about, I don't know, $10 for this brass knuckle here, 90 degree. So all I'll do, so right now, if my sink was full of water, and I had this guy on here, and I let this go, water is just gonna do that everywhere. So this guy here, just pop it on. I'm gonna unscrew that other one in a minute here. I'll do that after. You guys don't need to watch that, but just gonna stick this guy on here. And this is about a 10-second swap out. And that should be tight enough for now. Now I have a valve for my water. So now I can attach my hose here, garden hose, attach this here to a bucket, a gray tank, wherever I want the water to drain to. Now I have a valve to do so versus playing this game with this thing. I gotta get the screwdriver to get that screw out, and I'll take that off. Or I can just rip it off, even better, gone. So we'll get rid of this, don't need this anymore. But let's go inside this Olympic and show you guys some really cool things here. So I have in this camper, it's nice and warm in here today, so let's get some airflow before it gets too hot. So first thing I'll do is, that's how easy it is to open the skylight. So if you're worried about light or you're worried about bugs, just close your bug screen. All the windows come with a nice shade and bug screen, so we'll just open that one for now because it's pretty warm in here. But check this out. So on this side here, we have a Dickinson marine heater. So this guy here, super cool. Have my little lighter ready to go. Already started up. It's hard to see because it's daytime, but there is flame there. There we got it. So this thing's running. I'm already sweating, so I'm gonna turn this off. But this thing's super cool. We'll do more videos of that later. It's got a fan on it. I have the 12-volt system turned off in here right now, but super toasty. But one thing you'll notice here in this Olympic as well is I have this National Luna 40-liter fridge that is going sideways. So I got an extra cushion here. So now I can sit over here, have my family sit here. It gives an extra seat for seating instead of having your cooler take up the whole bench. This National Luna cooler is really slick. Got some water bottles in here for Kent and myself. Nice and cold already, the water. The trick to this is I'll probably get rid of these trays, pull them right out just so there's more space, but I'll do that once I get home from this trip. Just picking this thing up today. But super cool seating arrangement in here. The extra spot here, Dickinson heater. I have the portal edge bed extension, so I haven't set up the clips for him yet, but it just slides out like this. And then it's gonna strap up. Now you can sleep this way. So myself here, my wife here, kids in the middle. Or my little kids can go in this nice, easy to use bed right here, which is just 2 seconds down. And then the cushions will fill in over top. So that's super easy to use in the Olympic. I love that. And then this is a portable solar panel. This is the Nomad 200 right here. I haven't actually even opened this yet, but have a quick look at it. Unfolds like that. That's a slick solar panel. So I have some other Goal Zero stuff in here that's charging up, but the Goal Zero 3000X that we're putting the second MPPT port onto means that you can charge from the solar from the roof and external solar, so you can have both charging at the same time, plugging them into different parts. There's a spot under the lid here for a second solar. That's the MPP port right there. Solar can go there and it can go here on that side, so you can get 2 solars going on this thing. I'm super excited to use this Scout Olympic, but lots of cool stuff. So one thing I missed is that I should have going right now because it's hot in here. This is a fantastic fan. So this thing's gonna move air and you're gonna need this thing. So one thing I find super helpful is in the summertime, if you crack the front nose windows and have this thing going, it's gonna pull the air through the camper. It's gonna be like a vacuum. So this will be a great summertime solution. There should be an AC solution from Scout coming soon, but I love this fantastic fan. I'm really excited to use this camper. All right, we're out of here. We are headed to the Scout Owners Meetup here in Yakima, Washington, taking this brand new 2024 Scout Olympic. This is gonna be awesome.